You pass it every day without thinking twice, the number on your front door. Just digits, right? A way for the mail to find you, for guests to know where to knock. But what if that number, sitting quietly on the front of your home, has been influencing your energy, your finances, even your peace of mind, without you ever realizing it? We often talk about layout, color palettes, and lighting when it comes to making a house feel right. But very few people pause to consider the actual number on the house itself. And yet, across thousands of homes and hundreds of stories, a quiet pattern emerges. Some numbers just seem to align with good fortune, financially, emotionally, even spiritually. Not in a superstitious, crystal ball kind of way, but in a grounded, observational way. People who live under certain numbers report steadier finances, fewer disruptions, and a stronger sense of comfort and belonging. This isn't about magic, it's about mindfulness, the small signals we overlook and how they shape our daily life. Because whether you're in a cozy bungalow in the Midwest or a condo in Florida, your home carries a frequency, and your house number might just be the first heartbeat of that frequency. In this video, we're going to explore the 6 house numbers that most often align with quiet wealth, personal stability, and unexpected moments of joy. You'll learn how to calculate your home's number the right way, what each one represents, and how a subtle shift in awareness could unlock a more peaceful, abundant rhythm in your everyday life. Ready to find out what your front door has been trying to tell you? Let's begin. Part 1: How to find your home's energy number. Before we explore what your house number might say about your life, let's start with a simple truth. Most people have no idea how much their environment influences them. You might be paying your bills on time, keeping your home tidy, lighting a candle in the evenings to create a calm mood, and still feel like something in your space just doesn't support you. You can't name it, you can't fix it, but you can feel it. And sometimes it's as small as the number hanging beside your door. Calculating your home's energy number isn't about superstition or fate. It's not about locking you into a future you can't change. It's simply a way of tuning in to see what kind of rhythm your home might already be creating around you. This number is subtle, quiet, almost invisible, but it's always there, like a hum underneath your daily life. So here's how to find it clearly, correctly, and meaningfully. Start with the number that physically appears on your home's address plate. Not the street name, not the ZIP code, just the digits that show up on your door, mailbox, or gate. That's the number you see every day. The one you pass when you bring in groceries. The one delivery drivers use. That's your home's numeric identity. And in this practice, it's what carries the energetic signature of the space. Once you have that number in front of you, simply add up the digits. For example, if your address is 134, you add 1 plus 3 plus 4, which equals 8. That's your home's energy number. If the sum gives you a double digit like 29, you then reduce it further by adding 2 plus 9 to get 11. And then 1 plus 1 equals 2. Your final number should always be a single digit between 1 and 9. Each one carries a different kind of energy, like a radio station your home is tuned to. Now, what if your house number has a letter in it, like 42B or 107A? You still begin by adding the digits. 4 plus 2 equals 6 in the first case, and 1 plus 0 plus 7 equals 8 in the second. Then, if you want to look deeper, you can assign the letter a number using its place in the alphabet. A is 1, B is 2, and so on up to Z, which is 26. So 42B would become 4 plus 2 equals 8. That said, this deeper level is only useful if you feel something is off in your space. If you're constantly drained, relationships feel tense, or your luck keeps swinging between highs and lows with no explanation. Adding the letter into the calculation can sometimes reveal what the numbers alone don't. But for most people, the basic version is more than enough. It's important to clarify one thing. This is not about numerology in the way pop culture might present it. We're not forecasting your destiny based on numbers. We're observing patterns. We're paying attention. This process is more like taking the emotional temperature of your home And once you know your number, you'll start to notice how well or how poorly it matches your current season of life. A house vibrating with the energy of new beginnings might feel exciting to someone starting over, but restless and chaotic to someone craving peace. A home with the energy of stability and growth might feel grounding to a couple settling into retirement, but slow and frustrating to someone itching for change. That's why this number isn't good or bad. It's just a frequency. The key is whether or not it's the one you actually need. And here's where things get interesting. Once you understand your home's number, you don't have to move or renovate to shift its energy. You can begin to harmonize it gently with small intentional touches. You can balance it, soften it, strengthen it. You can bring your space back into alignment with what you really want out of life. But it starts with knowing where you are. The number is your baseline, the energy you're living in, whether you realize it or not. Because whether you're alone or surrounded by family, whether you're in a starter home or the house you plan to grow old in, one thing is certain: your environment is always speaking to you. This is just one of the quiet ways it does. So take a walk to your front door. Look at the numbers like you're seeing them for the first time. Add them up. Find that single digit and sit with what it might mean. In the next part of this video, we'll walk through each of the 6 luckiest numbers, and you might be surprised which one already belongs to you. Part 2, the 6 numbers that gently shift your life. 8, the house that holds wealth like stone holds gold. Some homes don't shine from the outside. They don't have big porches or showy decor. But when you step inside, you feel it. Something is deeply grounded. Time slows down, conversations linger, and somehow the people who live there just seem steady. Their finances might not be flashy, but they are secure. Their lives aren't loud, but they are rich in the quiet ways that last. If your house adds up to the number 8, you may be living in one of these homes, and you may not even know how much wealth, peace, and staying power it's been helping you build. In this system of home energy, the number 8 is considered the anchor. It carries the energy of the earth, strong, stable, and quietly powerful. It doesn't bring overnight riches or dramatic transformations, but it helps you hold on to what you've earned. Think of it like a deep underground vault or a stone foundation that doesn't crack under pressure. People living in a number 8 home often find that their lives get better slowly but consistently. Jobs stabilize, savings grow, investments don't boom and bust, they build. There's less chaos, fewer surprises, and a growing sense that life has finally found its rhythm. And that's not luck, that's alignment. It's a space that matches the energy of responsibility, discipline, and long-term thinking. That's why number 8 homes tend to suit people who are in a building phase, whether that means raising a family, starting a business, or preparing for retirement. These are homes where values grow roots, where you quietly become the kind of person who doesn't just survive, but plans ahead, adapts well, and makes decisions from a place of calm. But like all strong things, number 8 energy needs to be respected and supported. If your home vibrates with this number, there are simple ways to help it flourish even more. Start by grounding the space with materials that reflect its essence. Solid wood, natural stone, heavy pottery, anything that carries weight and permanence. In rooms where decisions are made, like the home office or living room, consider using earthy colors like deep beige, warm brown, or soft clay gray. These tones aren't just aesthetic. They echo the qualities of trust, endurance, and quiet prosperity. And if you have a southwest corner in your home, a spot that often aligns with earth energy, try placing a round, solid object there. It could be a bowl of stones, a ceramic sculpture, or even a small table made of reclaimed wood. This small, symbolic act strengthens the home's ability to hold wealth, so it doesn't slip through the cracks of everyday chaos. That's the thing about number 8 energy. It doesn't shout, it holds. And in a world that's constantly telling you to want more, move faster, spend quicker, it's a quiet kind of power to have a space that simply says, you are already enough, and you are building something that lasts. Of course, like any energy, 8 can become unbalanced. If the home becomes too heavy, too serious, or too closed off, it can turn into a place that feels stuck or overly cautious. That's why it's important to let in natural light, open the windows often, and soften the atmosphere with signs of life, photos, warm lighting, and moments of play. After all, true wealth isn't just financial, it's emotional. It's knowing your home isn't just protecting your money, it's protecting your peace. So if you're living in a number 8 house, take a quiet moment to thank it. You may not have noticed it working for you, but look at your life, the steadiness, the growth, the stability. Sometimes it's not about what we achieve in big bursts, it's about what we're able to keep, hold, and build over time. And the homes with the number 8, they tend to know how to hold on. 6. Quiet luck that arrives right on time. Some homes seem to carry a kind of quiet magic, not the kind that feels dramatic or dazzling. It's subtler than that, like when things just fall into place right when you need them to. A friend calls on the exact day you feel alone. A neighbor offers help before you even ask. An opportunity shows up quietly in the middle of an ordinary week. And when you look back, you can't quite explain it, but something about your life has felt gently supported all along. That's the energy of house number 6. It doesn't chase success or fortune, but it invites in the right kind of luck that arrives softly on time and in the exact form you didn't know you needed. Homes with the number 6 often attract support that isn't loud or flashy. These are the houses where a stranger shows up to return your lost dog, where the plumber shows up early and undercharges, where someone leaves groceries on the porch without a note. And these moments add up. Slowly, silently, they build a sense of trust in life, that things are somehow working out. Number 6 carries the energy of care, of quiet harmony, of being guided even when you feel unsure. It's often found in homes where relationships are steady, money flows in slowly but doesn't leak out, and life feels, if not perfect, at least balanced. There's a reason for this. In this energetic system, 6 is connected to what's known as benefactor energy. That means your home becomes a place where the right people seem to appear at just the right moment. But it's not about depending on luck, it's about living in flow. If you've been craving that kind of gentle rhythm, a number 6 home might already be giving it to you. And if you want to deepen that energy, you can do so with a few intentional touches. Because number 6 is linked to water and harmony, one of the most effective ways to activate its energy is through a simple, symbolic ritual. On the 6th day of any lunar month, take 6 gold-colored coins. Even chocolate coins or decorative ones will do. Soak them in clean water for about 6 hours. Then place that bowl of water in the southeast corner of your home. This small act helps amplify the soft, circulating energy of flow and financial ease, without pressure, without urgency. But beyond rituals, the everyday design of your space also matters. Number 6 energy thrives in rounded shapes, smooth textures, and soft finishes. It's the opposite of sharp corners and harsh light. Think curved furniture, oval decor, and gentle lighting, lamps with dimmers, warm bulbs, cozy corners. Add elements made of glass, porcelain, or polished stone, materials that don't shout but reflect. Your home should feel like a gentle stream, not a rushing river. That's how this number works best. It creates spaces where emotional tension has no place to grow, where conversations soften, where rest is not just allowed, but encouraged. And like all energies, it can tilt out of balance if neglected. If your home feels too quiet, too still, or even a little stuck, you might need to reintroduce movement. Open windows more often. Let air and light circulate. Bring in 1 or 2 living plants, especially ones that drape or flow like ivy or a peace lily. Remember, flow is not the same as motion. It's about gentle continuity, not speed. A number 6 home is ideal for people entering a slower phase of life, or for anyone who wants to stop chasing and start receiving. It's not about being passive, it's about being aligned. Because when your home supports you with calm and balance, your decisions get clearer. Your body relaxes, your heart opens, and luck doesn't feel like a surprise, it feels like something you've made room for. So if you're living in a home that adds up to 6, take a breath and notice what's already flowing toward you. Maybe it's not loud. Maybe it's not even visible yet. But the right things at the right time might already be on their way. 2. The house for healing and emotional ease. There are homes that hold space for you, not to achieve, not to change, but simply to rest. A number 2 house is often one of them. This is the kind of home where the air feels softer, where the pace of life slows without asking for permission. It doesn't push you to grow. It doesn't pull you toward reinvention. Instead, it says, just be here, breathe, start over gently. If your house adds up to the number 2, you may already feel this subtle invitation. You might not know why you crave quiet more than usual, why your mornings feel more centered, or why your conversations linger longer than they used to. That's the energy of 2, an energy built not for speed or ambition, but for healing and emotional ease. This is often the perfect home for those coming out of life's harder seasons. Grief, divorce, burnout, big transitions. People who have lived through these know what it means to need a space that doesn't ask for anything in return. A number 2 home offers that. It becomes a kind of emotional sanctuary, a soft landing place, a gentle reset. Unlike homes with stronger, more active energy, a number 2 home doesn't chase results. It simply nurtures you. But here's the beautiful thing, that nurturing isn't weakness. It's quiet strength. These homes often become the most stable emotionally. They hold relationships together. They invite intimacy. They give space for reflection and tenderness, not just with others, but with yourself. And while this energy is comforting, it still needs tending. Without balance, it can become overly still, too quiet, too dim, a little too closed off. To keep a number 2 home emotionally nourishing without becoming stagnant, the key is warmth and light. Make daylight your ally. Open the curtains as often as you can. Let natural light soften the edges of the space. In the evenings, use warm-toned bulbs or lamps that glow like candlelight, not harsh, not sterile. Your home should feel like dusk in early autumn, quiet but full of heart. Scent is also essential in a 2 home. Fragrance speaks directly to memory and emotion, and a soft scent can keep the emotional energy flowing in the right direction. Choose scents that uplift without overwhelming. Sandalwood, cinnamon, lavender, sweet orange. Use them in a diffuser, a room spray, or even just a tucked-away sachet in your drawer. Let your home whisper calm into your senses. Plants can also make a quiet home come alive again. Number 2 homes pair beautifully with small, gentle plants, ones that don't demand attention but still thrive quietly. Ivy, peace lilies, or small indoor herbs like mint or lavender are perfect. Place them in forgotten corners, on kitchen windowsills, or beside your bed. These small signs of life help the energy circulate gently, keeping the space emotionally awake. Furniture in a number 2 home should be soft, welcoming, and close to the ground. Overly modern or minimalistic styles can feel cold here. What feels best is warmth, familiarity, texture. Think soft throws, plush cushions, natural fabrics. Let your home feel like someone you trust. A home with this energy is ideal for those looking to heal, for couples seeking to grow closer, or for anyone who has spent too long being strong. It's not a home for constant motion. It's a home for steady emotional grounding. And that's something deeply powerful in a world that rarely lets us pause. If you're living in a number 2 house, you may have chosen it for reasons you couldn't explain at the time. Maybe the layout felt easier. Maybe it felt like home before you stepped through the door. Or maybe, on some level, your heart already knew. This was a space where you could finally exhale. So if you've been wondering why this house feels different, why it's helped you sleep better, cry more easily, or smile without effort, this might be why. Some homes help you build wealth, some push you toward your dreams. But some homes, like those with the number 2, do something just as valuable. They help you feel again. And that in itself is a kind of healing wealth you carry with you long after you leave. 3. The home where life refuses to stand still. Some homes feel like a page that's never finished. There's always something in motion, A new idea on the table, a project half complete, a conversation that stretches into the evening. These are not chaotic homes, they're alive. And if your house number adds up to 3, you might already know what that feels like. Number 3 homes are spaces where life refuses to stand still, where laughter echoes down hallways, where rooms get rearranged not because they have to, but because something inside you is always evolving. These homes aren't perfect, that's not the point, but they carry a distinct energy, one of expansion, expression, and deep connection to growth. In this energy system, the number 3 is connected to the wood element. That means it thrives in environments where something is always being nurtured. It could be a child, a business, a second act in life. It could be a garden, a new skill, or a relationship being rebuilt after years of quiet distance. The home itself seems to support those in transition, in motion, in bloom. And while it's beautiful to live in a space like that, it also comes with one emotional truth. Movement is not always easy. Living in a number 3 house means constantly growing, but sometimes that growth feels like stretching. You might feel pulled in many directions, excited one day, exhausted the next. That's normal, because even good things take energy, and this number holds a lot of it. To stay grounded in a home like this, you need small anchors. Begin with your environment. Number 3 homes respond well to living things. Plants, especially those that grow upright like bamboo or fiddle leaf figs, help guide the energy upward and give it purpose. Wooden furniture or accents, real wood, not plastic, also reinforce the home's core strength and natural rhythm. Color matters too. Use touches of soft green, earth tones, and warm neutrals to balance the constant flow of motion. Add small reminders of your journey. Family photos in the hallway, a vision board in the office, a journal on the coffee table. These are the little things that turn a moving house into a meaningful one. The number 3 also responds beautifully to voices. This is a home where singing in the kitchen feels right, where family dinners run long, where storytelling happens without scripts. If your home often fills with noise, the good kind, embrace it. This is a sign the energy is circulating, that something is alive in your space. Still, just like a growing tree needs the right soil, your number 3 house needs nourishment. If the pace gets overwhelming, pause. Create a spot for rest that doesn't demand stillness but offers a sense of pause. A reading nook by the window, a corner chair with a view, a place where you can sit even for 5 minutes and take in all that's been happening around you. It's easy to miss the beauty in the middle of motion. So your home must remind you, you're not rushing, you're becoming. A 3 home is also an ideal match for those starting something new. Young families, entrepreneurs, or even retirees embracing a second wave of purpose all thrive here. But more than anything, this is a home for people who believe life still has something to offer, and that they still have something to give. It's not the house for settling down and going quiet. It's the house where old stories are rewritten and new ones begin. So if you've ever wondered why your home doesn't stay finished, why there's always a new plan, a new rhythm, a new season unfolding, it might not be your fault. It might just be your number, and that's a gift. Because the energy of a number 3 house doesn't fade with age. It matures, it deepens. It keeps asking you to show up, curious, connected, open. And in doing so, it teaches you this one simple truth. Staying alive means staying in motion, not running, not escaping, just continuing to grow. Day by day, room by room, with joy that rises like sunlight on leaves. 9. The flame that needs a quiet corner. Some people are always leading, whether they mean to or not. They're the ones others turn to when things fall apart. The ones with steady words, deep insight, and that quiet kind of wisdom that makes others feel safe. If this sounds like you or the life you've built, your home may reflect that same energy. And if your house number adds up to 9, it likely does. Number 9 homes carry the vibration of service, leadership, and deep emotional intelligence. They're often filled with books, ideas, guiding voices, and lives in motion towards something bigger. These homes attract people who are called to give, teachers, mentors, healers, creatives, caregivers. But here's the paradox. The brighter the light, the more it needs a place to rest. That's why number 9 homes can also quietly drain the people who live in them, unless the energy is balanced with intention. A 9 home feels purposeful. Guests walk in and feel like they've stepped into something meaningful. It might be the warmth of the space, the calm in the air, or the sense that this is a home where hearts are held gently. But when the energy becomes too intense, too fiery, it can turn inward. That same light that warms can start to burn. People in number 9 homes often report feelings of mental fatigue, overthinking, or a sense of needing to retreat from the very life they've built. That's not a flaw, it's a signal, a reminder that leadership without pause leads to burnout, that even wisdom needs a place to be quiet. To live well in a number 9 home, you need balance, space where your mind can stop spinning and your heart can simply feel. One of the most important ways to support this energy is through design. Light matters. Let natural daylight flood in whenever possible. It renews the spirit and prevents that inward turning heat from becoming too much. But in the evening, transition to soft, warm lighting. Avoid harsh overhead lights. Choose lamps that glow, that mimic candlelight, that soothe rather than activate. This mirrors the energy of number 9 itself, bright but gentle, warm but thoughtful. Your home should feel like a retreat for your own mind. Color also plays a powerful role here. Number 9 energy responds best to neutral and calming tones, soft gray, ivory, ash blue, warm cream. These tones quiet the fire without putting it out. They give your thoughts a place to land. And perhaps more than any other home, a 9 house needs a quiet corner. Not a workspace, not a utility nook, but a space that belongs only to stillness. A single chair, a lamp, a stack of journals, a place where no one else needs anything from you and you don't need to be anyone for a while. That's where the power of this number is restored. Because here's what many people don't realize about number 9 homes. They don't just ask you to serve, they ask you to evolve. This is the number of life's deeper chapters, of transformation, of becoming who you're really here to be. And that's not a journey you can rush. So your space needs to protect your energy while still letting you share it. Small details help. Incense that burns slowly, books you love within reach, textiles that feel comforting to the skin. Create layers of stillness, moments where nothing needs to happen, where your home becomes a teacher too, not just a backdrop to your giving. A 9 house is ideal for those stepping into legacy, for people who have done the work, carried the weight, and are now asking, what does it mean to lead with grace, not pressure? What does it mean to be the light and still take time to heal in the dark? If that's you, you're not alone, and your home may already be holding that space for you, quietly inviting you back to yourself. Because a number 9 home doesn't demand applause, it doesn't chase reward. It offers something deeper, the invitation to become wise without becoming worn out. And that kind of energy, that's rare and worth protecting. One where everything begins again. There are homes that don't carry history, they carry possibility. A number 1 house is one of them. It's not a place that asks who you used to be, it asks who you're becoming. There's something in the air, a sense of forward motion, of new chapters opening even when you weren't planning to start one. If your home adds up to the number 1, you may already feel it, that quiet pull toward reinvention. The restless creativity that rises out of nowhere, the urge to begin again even if you've done it all before. This is the energy of fresh starts, and it's not loud. It's not about big declarations or drastic moves. It's more like the feeling you get when you rearrange a room and suddenly everything feels different. Number 1 homes are designed for people stepping into something new, whether it's a project, a role, a business, or a version of yourself that's finally ready to emerge. It's the number of independence, forward thinking, and movement. And like all forms of newness, it brings both excitement and a little disorientation. You might find your thoughts racing, ideas arriving faster than you can write them down. You may feel bursts of energy followed by moments of doubt. That's part of the process. Because starting over in any form always comes with growing pains. The beauty of a 1 home is that it gives you space to move without needing a map. It trusts that you'll figure it out as you go. But to live well in this space, you need to create containers for all that fresh energy. Otherwise, it can scatter. Begin by grounding your ideas. Use color intentionally. Number 1 homes thrive with tones that feel clean and decisive. Ocean blue, crisp white, silver, steel gray. These colors bring clarity and direction without dampening creativity. Let them show up in simple ways. Throw pillows, desk decor, framed art that reminds you to focus. This is not a home for clutter or complication. It's a home for flow. Water is the symbolic element of number 1. That means your home needs a feeling of movement, but not chaos. Add a small indoor fountain if you like, or better yet, place a bowl of clean water with a white flower, jasmine, lily, even a silk one, near the north side of the home. This subtle act helps call in clarity, inspiration, and emotional freshness. It also gently anchors the energy so you don't feel pulled in a dozen directions at once. Furniture in a number 1 home should feel light and flexible. Avoid pieces that dominate a room or lock you into one way of living. Instead, let your space shift as you shift. Rearrange the room when you feel the urge, move your desk by the window, try something new and see how it feels. That's the power of a number 1 home. It reminds you that nothing is fixed, not even who you are. And while that can feel a little unnerving at times, it's also where personal growth truly begins. These homes are especially well suited for those entering second chapters, newly single after a long relationship, recently retired but not done creating, healing from change and wondering, what now? A number 1 home won't give you the answer, but it will give you room to ask the question, and in that space the answer tends to arrive. To avoid overwhelm, make rest a priority too. 1 quiet chair, 1 space where nothing happens. In a house built for movement, you'll need a few places designed for stillness. That's how you restore the very energy you're learning to use. If your home has felt like a spark lately, new ideas, fresh routines, or simply a stronger sense of yourself returning, it may not be coincidence. It may be the number beneath your roof reminding you that life isn't over. It's just opening again. So take the hint. Try the thing, make the call, rearrange the room, begin again, because this time, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, and that's a very powerful place to stand. Final, by now you've seen that the number on your front door is more than just part of an address. It's a subtle reflection of the energy you live in every day. And while it may not change your life overnight, it quietly shapes the emotional landscape of your home. The flow of luck, the rhythm of peace, the space for healing, or the spark of new beginnings. Each number doesn't just represent energy, it reflects timing, readiness, and what your soul might be asking for in this season of life. A house with the number 8 invites you to grow slow, solid roots. Number 6 reminds you that help is always near, even when you don't ask. Number 2 holds space for grief to soften and hearts to reopen. Number 3 keeps life in motion, gently nudging you forward. Number 9 offers wisdom, but only if you also make room to rest. And number 1, that's the whisper that says, start again. It's not too late. None of this is superstition. It's simply observation. Energy is everywhere in our relationships, our routines, and yes, even in the spaces we return to at the end of the day. Your home doesn't just hold your furniture. It holds your memories, your worries, your laughter, your losses, your hopes. So when we learn to see these spaces more clearly, we begin to live in them more intentionally. Thank you for spending this time with me. Whether you're here out of curiosity, change, or quiet longing, you showed up for yourself, and that matters. I hope this video helped you feel more connected to the home you live in and perhaps more at peace with the path you're on. May your space hold you gently. May your days unfold with calm, and may you always feel safe, lucky, and fully alive in the home you call yours.